What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be doing a deep dive into the latest events in the Boku no Hero story, including the ongoing battle between Super Shigaraki and Deku, Bakugo, Endeavor, Aizawa, and all the other heroes in Jakku. I will also be talking about the big all-for-one twist in regards to Shigaraki. A twist that could change everything we thought we knew about both Shigaraki and his mysterious master. Finally, I will be discussing how this epic battle might end and what kind of impact Gigantomachia and the other villains could make if they can make it to Jakku. But before they come to Jakku, they will have to go through Mount Lady and the other heroes back at the mansion. As you can tell, there is so much to talk about, so let's get into it. If you enjoyed the Boku no Hero content on this channel and you want us to keep it going, please leave a like to let me know. It really does help. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar or you just haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. Finally, this video will contain Boku no Hero manga spoilers. We are dealing with the very latest chapters in the story, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. Just to recap really quickly, the previous installment of the story ended with Deku and Bakugo defying Gran Torino's orders to stay out of the battle. Instead of hiding out far from the battlefield because Shigaraki's main goal appears to be stealing One for All, Deku and Bakugo ended up attacking Shigaraki directly. They chose to do this because they saw that Aizawa's life was in danger and they didn't want to just sit on the sidelines while their teacher and other heroes die at the hands of Shigaraki and the Nomu. This latest chapter picks up right where the previous chapter left off, with Deku and Bakugo actively fighting Shigaraki. Deku and Bakugo explained that they couldn't just sit back and watch Aizawa and the other heroes lose their lives. On top of that, since at this moment Shigaraki is unable to use his quirks because of Aizawa, this might be the best chance they'll ever have to actually defeat Shigaraki. Back in the previous chapter, Gran Torino told Deku to stay away from Shigaraki because if Shigaraki somehow manages to get his hands on One for All and steal it, then that would be the worst possible scenario for the heroes. But Deku and Bakugo believed that if they just stayed in hiding and Shigaraki managed to take out Aizawa, that would have been the worst case scenario. Aizawa would lose his life, which would be heartbreaking for them because he is their teacher, but more than that, in that case, Shigaraki would be back at full power and able to use all of his quirks. If that were to happen, Shigaraki would potentially become unstoppable, so this was the scenario that Deku and Bakugo wanted to avoid at all costs. And so they were willing to even put their own lives on the line in order to avoid it. At this point, Deku and Bakugo employ some pretty cool team battle strategies. Deku uses Black Whip to grab Shigaraki, and Bakugo takes advantage of the fact that Shigaraki can't move freely to blast him with his AP shot auto cannon. But as cool as that looks in the manga, it doesn't seem to do any damage to Shigaraki. And Shigaraki even mocks Bakugo and calls his attack Little Fireworks. In the next moment, Shigaraki's incredible physical strength overpowers Deku's attempts to restrain him, and Shigaraki gets right in Bakugo's face and tells him that he's just not interested in him at the moment. You can imagine how Bakugo felt hearing this after that whole exchange he had with Deku about who is the real protagonist in the story. And just as Shigaraki is about to hit and potentially kill Bakugo, Endeavor arrives to save the day once again. The number one pro hero smashes Shigaraki with one of his epic fiery punches, and the impact of this attack actually sends Shigaraki flying. Endeavor then asks Deku and Bakugo where Shoto is, but they reply that they're alone. Shoto is likely still helping the evacuation efforts on the other end of town, although it is quite possible that he will show up here on the main battlefield at some point in the near future. I could definitely see Shoto appearing just in time for Endeavor's eventual meetup with Dabi. And of course, Burnin might also make an appearance. If that happens, then we would potentially get to see some really cool teamwork from all the people from Endeavor's pro hero agency. And of course, with how strong Shigaraki is right now, the heroes are gonna need all the backup they can get, so I'm sure once the evacuation is over, a lot of those heroes and hero students might show up here. Now, even though Endeavor's punch was able to send Shigaraki flying, it didn't do any real damage to the villain. Shigaraki is able to regain his balance, and he is actually glad that Endeavor still has some fight left in him. Gran Torino and Endeavor then warn everyone once again that the new Shigaraki possesses unimaginable strength. And Endeavor even says that Shigaraki's strength and endurance are now on the same level as All Might. We know from what Ujiko said earlier that Shigaraki is not quite as strong as All Might, but he is definitely up there, and the fact that Endeavor just came out and said that this guy is All Might level is a big deal. I think it's fair to say at this point that Shigaraki is the greatest threat that any of these heroes have ever had to face, the strongest villain in Boku no Hero. Someone who has near All Might levels of physical strength, the awakened decay quirk, All for One, and a bunch of other stolen quirks at the same time is an absolutely insane and certainly unprecedented threat in the world of Boku no Hero. The heroes know that their only advantage right now is the fact that Eraserhead is cancelling out Shigaraki's quirks, and so they must all work together to stop Shigaraki from reaching Eraserhead. As long as Aizawa can continue cancelling out Shigaraki's quirks, the heroes have a chance. But if Shigaraki manages to neutralize Aizawa and he goes back to fighting in full power, the heroes will be in big frickin' trouble. Because of the unique nature of this situation, Endeavor allows Deku and Bakugo to stay in the fight, but he tells them that they must protect Eraserhead while also ensuring that Shigaraki doesn't kill them. As Endeavor prepares for another attack, Shigaraki experiences a strange and potentially very important moment. Something inside of Shigaraki, something beyond his own consciousness, seems to take over, at least for a moment, and Shigaraki calls out, "One for all, give it to me, little brother." In the very next moment, Endeavor attacks Shigaraki with Flash Fire Fist Hell Spider, but Shigaraki again doesn't have too much trouble avoiding the worst of this attack. In fact, Shigaraki is more interested in understanding why he just called out to his little brother when he doesn't even have one. Shigaraki quickly realizes that some part of All for One's consciousness is still lingering inside his mind, most likely as part of All for One's quirk factor, just like some aspect of the former One for All users still lingers inside of Deku. So it was All for One's consciousness that called out to his little brother, not Shigaraki's, and that is a pretty big deal. This seems to indicate that after inheriting the original All for One quirk, Shigaraki's mind is sharing two consciousnesses, his own and All for One's. All for One's deepest desires are now affecting Shigaraki's mind, and this makes us wonder whether All for One's consciousness and personality are going to keep affecting and changing Shigaraki. Could All for One potentially take over Shigaraki's body, essentially turning him into a younger and more powerful version of himself, while erasing Shigaraki's real consciousness and personality? Was this All for One's plan all along? I mean, you can't put anything past someone like All for One, but after the way that he has treated Shigaraki, I have to say that trying to take over his successor's body and erasing his consciousness would be cruel, even by All for One's standards. For his part, Shigaraki is determined not to let All for One take over. Shigaraki is definitely grateful to All for One for raising him and turning him into the man that he has become, but Shigaraki also makes it clear that he doesn't want to be like All for One. He wants to be better than All for One, he wants to be stronger than All for One, and he wants to succeed where All for One failed. All for One was of course a notorious villain, and he definitely had his moment in the sun. But at the end of the day, All for One was defeated by just one man, All Might, on two separate occasions. Shigaraki does not want to follow in those footsteps. He wants to be an undefeatable villain, a villain that not even all the pro heroes together can stop, let alone a single pro hero. Shigaraki tells All for One's consciousness to keep its desires to itself, because this is his will and he will follow only his own desires. Suddenly, Gran Torino flies up to Shigaraki and slams into him. Gran Torino tells Shigaraki to stop trampling on Nana Shimura's heart with his actions, but at the mention of his grandmother's name, Shigaraki acts like he doesn't even know who Nana Shimura is. I wonder why Shigaraki doesn't remember Nana. Is it because his memories were affected by the procedure, or did he just never know his grandmother's name? He definitely saw pictures of her in his father's office back when he was a kid, so he should know who she was, but maybe her first name was hidden from him or something like that. Or maybe he has forgotten her as a result of all the alterations that Ujiko's procedure made to his body and his mind. At any rate, Shigaraki's response just makes Gran Torino even angrier, and he tries to attack Shigaraki. But Shigaraki doesn't have any interest in Gran Torino. Shigaraki wants Deku, and he evades Gran Torino effortlessly before once again turning his attention back to Deku. However, as Shigaraki zeroes in on Deku, Bakugo says that Deku was just bait before unleashing a massive blast right on top of Shigaraki. The heroes seem surprised at the sheer power of Bakugo's attack, and if this was any normal villain, this attack would probably have ended them, but this is no ordinary villain, this is awakened Shigaraki. Endeavor follows up Bakugo's blast with an epic attack of his own, an absolutely fierce flaming punch, and he appears to deal some serious damage to Shigaraki. But we don't get to see what happens next, or just how much damage Endeavor and Bakugo were able to cause Shigaraki, because in the very next panel, the chapter shifts back to the villain mansion. Back at the mansion, two literal giants are going at it. The gigantified Gigantomachia is trying to push his way past Mount Lady, who actually looks considerably smaller than Gigantomachia at this point, even though she is in her giant form. We can see that Gigantomachia is carrying multiple villains on his back, including Toga, Dabi, and Mr. Compress. He is trying to push his way past the heroes in order to join Shigaraki on the Jakku battlefield. But Mount Lady is doing her very best to stop him. And that is how this insane chapter ends, with two massive hero versus villain battles taking place at the same time. Absolutely crazy stuff is happening in this arc, and we just keep getting more incredible action and more twists and turns with each new chapter. In terms of the mansion battle, I can't believe just how big Gigantomachia has become. He is practically the size of a mountain. Just look at how small Toga and the others look while riding on his back. With that said, despite her celebrity status, Mount Lady has repeatedly proven herself to be a brave and ferociously strong hero, so we shouldn't underestimate her. Nonetheless, seeing Gigantomachia at this immense size and knowing that he was just summoned by his master to Jakku, I simply cannot see how Mount Lady wins this fight. Gigantomachia is an absolute monster who is fanatically loyal to his master. So I think that Gigantomachia will definitely find a way to overpower Mount Lady. He would do anything at this point to do what his master wants. And from a story perspective, in order for this amazing arc to come to a proper climax, the other villains, and especially Dabi, have to make it to the main battlefield in Jakku. So for that reason, I think Gigantomachia will find a way past Mount Lady and the other heroes at the mansion. I just hope that Mount Lady and the other heroes won't lose their lives in the process. In terms of the Shigaraki fight, we better hope that Aizawa can hold out and that our boy Manuel can keep moisturizing his eyes. Because if Eraserhead falters even for a moment, everyone is screwed. Even without his quirk, Shigaraki has physical strength comparable to All Might. And if he gets the ability to use all those quirks once again, there's just no telling what he'll be capable of doing. Especially now that the hero forces are busy fighting the Nomu, not to mention how the situation will change once Gigantomachia and the other villains arrive. Nevertheless, this chapter did reveal one of Shigaraki's potential weaknesses. If Shigaraki is currently facing a serious internal conflict with the remnants of All for One's consciousness inside his quirk factor, then perhaps Shigaraki will experience some internal mental turmoil that the heroes are going to be able to take advantage of. So far, it seems that Shigaraki is maintaining control, but perhaps that could change as the fight continues. What do you guys think? Will Shigaraki overcome All for One's consciousness? Will his body be taken over by All for One? Or could Shigaraki's personality incorporate aspects of All for One's personality and evolve into a completely different person as a result? Some sort of combination of both Shigaraki and All for One. Also, what do you think is about to happen to Deku, Bakugo, Endeavor, Aizawa, and the other heroes? Are any of them going to die during this fight? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Boku no Hero videos right here on the channel, please leave a like to let me know. It definitely helps. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar or you just haven't subscribed, make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You really have to go through the trouble of hitting that bell and selecting the option that says all. If you don't do that, you're gonna miss a lot of our videos even if you're subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for making videos like this one possible. A very special thank you to Efren A, a disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Alolanatum, The World, Steelers, Acquired Respect, Pate Heffa, Jonathan King, Desi D, Brandon Aviles, Papa Smurf, The School Bus, King Riser, Emperor Otaku, Richie Martinez, and Thomas Jones. And of course, another big thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Cricket XP, Joe Stanton, Very Gucci, Alicia Octor, Jessica K. LaFond, Hinokami and Water, Bonnie Parks, Zodiar12, Rathuin Deora, Emperor, Cynical, Kraken, Fullgas77, and Deadly Saint. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!